What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JBsports back again with another one. Great night of boxing last night. You had the unification fight at 130 pounds featuring Shakur Stevenson and Oscar Valdez. And you had what many people were calling the greatest female boxing matchup of all time. They was comparing this fight to Ali Frazier 1. When you had the number 1 pound-for-pound fighter, KatieTaylor, taking on the number 3 pound-for-pound fighter, Amanda Serrano. Now, I don't agree with KatieTaylor being the number 1 pound-for-pound fighter. I believe Clarissa T-Rex Shields is the number 1 pound-for-pound fighter, but that's neither here nor there. You know, everybody got their opinion, and it's no bad decision putting KatieTaylor number 1 on the female pound-for-pound rankings. Now, you know, it's all about, you know, your opinion. You know, it's just like the number 1 pound-for-pound fighter in boxing, men's boxing. A lot of people have Canelo Alvarez number 1. I have Terence Bud Crawford number 1. So, you know, it's all about opinions, man. Opinions are like what, assholes? Everybody got them. So, it is what it is. But let's talk about this fight. This fight lived up to the hype. This was the greatest female boxing match of all time. Of all time? Oh, yeah. Previously going into this fight, I would probably put Layla Ali versus Jackie Clyde Frazier as the greatest female boxing match of all time. When you look at the entertainment value, both ladies had famous last names. Their fathers were famous boxers. Going into that fight, it was a lot of trash talking. They basically called it Ali Frazier 4. You know what I'm saying? So it had a lot to live up to, and it lived up to the billing. When you talk about the skill level, you talk about the offense that both ladies brought to the table, it was a great, great matchup. And that was the greatest female fight that I've seen before last night. And a lot of people say, wait a minute, JB Sports, this girl thought this girl was more entertaining. I ain't talking about just about entertainment. I'm talking about entertainment plus skill level. When you talk about the skill level that KatieTaylor possessed, and you talk about the skill level that Amanda Serrano possessed, and you put that with the fact that both ladies brought it. Both ladies put it all on the line. Both ladies were willing to take shots to get off their shots. They were both in an offensive frame of mind. And sometimes that's not the case, man. Sometimes when you get a fight of the century, when we're looking back at Floyd Mayweather Jr., Manny Pacquiao, that was a chess match. You know, Floyd Mayweather fought that fight very cautious, which is all of what Floyd Mayweather do anyway. So I don't know why people are up in a uproar about that, because that's how he fights. But a lot of people went into that fight with a false sense of expectation. They thought that fight was going to be one way, and it turned out to be another way. And if they would have watched how Floyd Mayweather fights, he's a safety-first fighter. They should have known if the fight was going to go Floyd Mayweather's way, it was not going to be a particularly entertaining fight. It was going to be a very technical fight. They call boxing the sweet science, and Floyd Mayweather Jr. has a PhD in sweet science. Make no mistake about it. Let's talk about this fight last night. I think it boiled down to the reason why Amanda Serrano came up shorter than a midget on his knees was because she left her jab at home. She was looking for power shots the whole fight. Didn't do a good job of cutting off the ring. And then when she got within range, she was telegraphing a lot of shots. And KatieTaylor fought a beautiful fight as far as being a counter puncher. She was able to beat her to the punch on a consistent basis. And I think that was the reason why she was able to get the split decision win over Amanda Serrano. Now, me personally, I had to fight 6 rounds to 4 for Amanda Serrano. She hurt KatieTaylor multiple times. KatieTaylor did not hurt Amanda Serrano no time. And when you got a fight that's a give and take type of fight, a tug of war where both ladies are having their moments, you got to look at which lady is doing the most damage. What punches are doing the most damage? And the punches that were doing the most damage were thrown by Amanda Serrano. And I thought she should have got the decision. Hopefully they'll do a rematch. Now the promoter, Eddie Hearn, who promotes KatieTaylor, talking about, yeah, we can do a rematch, but it'll be in Ireland. So if you ain't gonna get no good decision in your home country of New York, home country of USA, and the fight's taking place in New York City in the Mecca, Madison Square Garden, will make you think her and her team gonna have any kind of confidence of getting a fair shake in KatieTaylor's hometown of Ireland. I ain't gonna lie though, Madison Square Garden look like Ireland East. Man, they had a whole lot of fans from Ireland down there for that fight. They had a whole lot of Puerto Ricans in the stands supporting Amanda Serrano, but it was an electric atmosphere. I wish I was there. The buzz was off the charts, and it just lived up to the hype, man. It was a great matchup, but I thought Amanda Serrano lost the fight because she did not implement the jab. If she'd have jabbed up to the body, she'd have stifled the movement, because Katie Taylor, who went into the fight as the naturally bigger woman, was constantly on the back foot. As Amanda Serrano, who was coming up in weight, showed that she was the big dog on the block, and she was basically walking down the naturally bigger woman. And I thought she should have got a little bit more credit for that too. So it is what it is. It was a great matchup. Katie Taylor did what she had to do as a counter puncher, and she was able to get the split decision win. Now, I thought, again, Amanda Serrano was a little bit reckless in her offensive attitude in that fight, man. I think she was a little reckless. I think she was looking to land big shots, and I think she just, like I said, she just forgot about her jab, man. I just think she was just a little bit too hyped. I thought the moment kind of got to her when the fact that she just wanted to win this fight so bad, and I think she just kind of came with reckless aggression, you know, and it was effective aggression at times, but it just left her open to counters, and Katie Taylor was able to catch her with 1-2s, and she was able to time the left hand that she was coming through with straight right hands and stuff like that. And she was able to kind of get off first on multiple occasions, really throughout the fight. And I think that paid dividends as far as her getting the decision win. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. The winner of this fight could be looking at another mega fight down the line with the female fighter known as Michaela Mayer. But Michaela Mayer got business to take care of her own division. She's more of an amateur style fighter. She don't have a lot of power, so I don't know if she'll be able to keep a lady like Amanda Serrano off her. Maybe a lady like Katie Taylor, who probably will fight that fight different than she fought last night. Probably would be more of a come forward type of fight against Mayer, because Mayer gonna have the height and length over her, so she's gonna have to come to Mayer. Unlike what she had to do with Amanda Serrano, a lady that had similar height, and she was a naturally bigger lady but didn't fight like that. If you're going into this fight, you would have never known that Amanda Serrano was coming up in weight. She's fighting her in a different weight class, above the weight class that she fought in the last fight, because she was the big dog on the block, like I said earlier. But her not using the jab, not implementing the jab, not using the jab in particular to the body to stifle the movement of Katie Taylor allowed Taylor to get off the 1-2 combinations and exit stage left and get out of harm's way. And she was able to ride that to a split decision victory. Let me know your thoughts on who you thought won this fight, man. I thought Amanda Serrano won in 6 rounds to 4. I thought one round you could have easily scored. That 5th round, you could have easily scored that a 10-8 round, because Katie Taylor was badly hurt. She was holding on, and she was, in my opinion, if that would have been a 3-minute round, a lot of people are arguing today that it should be 3-minute rounds. If it had been a 3-minute round instead of 2-minute rounds, that's the rounds that are in ladies boxing, that Katie Taylor would have been knocked out. But everybody know the rules going into the fight, so we can't use that excuse. We can't be no Monday morning quarterback as far as using excuses after the fact. Everybody know the rules, and she had ample time to get Katie Taylor out of there. And again, if she wouldn't been able to do that, she'd have went to the body. She headhunted way too much. When she had her hurt, that's what fighters make a mistake in. They get excited when they have a person hurt, and they want that highlight reel knockout. Instead of going to the body when you got them badly hurt, that's going to get the fight over with. You go to the body because they looking for them headshots. They in survival mode. So they looking for the headshot. You go to the body and break them down, and then get them to succumb to the body shots. Then you go up top and close the show. But Amanda Serrano did not do that, and it cost her dearly in what would have been the biggest fight of her career. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. Let me know your thoughts on who you thought won this particular matchup. Let me know your thoughts on should Amanda Serrano go to Ireland to fight Katie Taylor again in her backyard, when I believe, and many people believe, that she didn't even give a fair shake in her own backyard. Let me know your thoughts. Follow me on Twitter, JBsports 3303. Like, share, and subscribe to JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend. And I holla.